Hi students, good morning. This is the second video जो actual lesson है. First revision video देखना जहाँ पे काव्या दीदी has revised the first 3 lessons that parts we did. Now I'm going to start today's lesson, and today's lesson is we're going to continue Earth and the solar system part 4. Okay, part 4 of Earth and solar system, and today we're going to learn about something called space and gravity. Okay, so let's start. We all know, okay, that this is the solar system. This full thing is the solar system. We know there's the sun. We know there are 8 planets. We know there's the band of rocks or a belt of rocks called asteroids. We also know that हर planet के पास moons है. Okay, satellites है. Like Earth has the moon. Every planet has satellites except Mercury and Venus. Abhi, these are all called celestial bodies. Everything that's up in the solar system is called a celestial body. We're going to see 2 more things in the solar system today, which is called space and gravity. Abhi space and gravity kya hai dekhte hain. Abhi it's a question time. Okay, now Kavya Didi is going to ask you a question. When you go out in the night sky, रात में आप बाहर जाते हैं and ऊपर देखते हैं, sky की तरफ देखते हैं, तो what do you see? I'm gonna give you all a minute to think. आंख बंद करके सोचो स्काई पे क्या दिखता है रात को. Okay. Okay, now Kavya Didi is going to tell you the answer. When Kavya Didi looks up at the night sky, when I look up at the night sky, what do I see? I see billions and billions of stars. Can I count the number of stars in the sky? No, there are billions and billions of stars in the sky. I also see some stars do not twinkle. Some stars चमकते नहीं है. सारे stars चमकते नहीं है. ऐसे 4-5 स्टार है जो चमकते नहीं है. वो क्या है? Correct. They are planets. हमने बोला था जो stars चमकते नहीं है उनको planets कहते हैं. So I can see when I look at the sky, I can see stars. I can see some planets, and I can also see the moon. I can also see the moon. But also I can also see a lot of empty space. मेरे को बहुत काली काली जगह भी दिखता है, like black color जगह stars के बीच में जहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं है. ऐसे यहाँ देखो, इधर stars के बीच में कुछ भी नहीं है, इधर stars के बीच में कुछ भी नहीं है, इधर stars के बीच में कुछ भी नहीं है. Now what is this called? What is this place called? This place is called the space. This place is called what? The space. As if you look at the solar system also, you can see the sun, you can see the asteroids, you can see the planets, you can see the moon, you can see the satellites, but either bhi there's a lot of empty black space. Empty black space, bahut sara kali jagah hai, and that is called the space. So this black empty space between all the stars, jo stars ke beech mein hai, that's called what? Space. S-P-A-C-E, space. Okay. So, space is the empty black area in the solar system. Solar system में जो black काली area दिखता है, वो है space. Now, all heavenly bodies, sun, stars, planets, satellites, asteroids, ये सब लोग कहाँ पे है? सोलर सिस्टम में. And where is the solar system? The solar system is in space. The solar system is in where? Space. अभी हम लोग अर्थ से रॉकेट लॉन्च करते हैं ऊपर, तो वो कहाँ जाता है? It goes into space. So the rocket goes into space. Okay. So this is the first thing that we learn today. That's space. The second thing that we are going to learn today is something called gravity. It's something called gravity. Now, what is gravity? Okay, and who is this man? Who is this man जिनके ऊपर apple fall हो रहा है? That we are going to see next. Okay, so gravity के लिए Kavya Didi is going to ask you a question. Okay, question time. Kavya Didi is going to ask you a question. When you throw up a ball, आप एक ball लेते हो. Okay, आप एक ball लेते हो और उसको ऊपर फेंकते हो. You just throw it up. Okay, what happens? जैसे ये दोनों बच्चे ऊपर फेंक रहे हैं बॉल को, वो बॉल कहाँ जाता है? You have to think. Okay. Now Kavya Didi is going to tell you an answer. Let's try. मेरे पास ये बॉल है, मैं इसको ऊपर फेंक रही हूँ. Okay. Where did it go? It came down. It fell down. Okay. So when you throw a ball up, वो always वापस ground पे गिर जाता है. When you throw a ball up, okay, it always falls back on the ground. Can you see the boy has thrown the ball up and it always falls back on the ground? Why? ऐसे ऊपर फेंकती हूँ तो ऊपर ऊपर क्यों नहीं जाता है? Why doesn't it go up up up? Why does it come down? That is because हमारे earth है ना, the earth pulls everything towards itself. Earth है ना, वो that pulls everything towards itself with a force, So that force is called gravity. That force is called what? Gravity. Gravity. Gravity is a force because of which जो भी ऊपर जाता है वो नीचे आ जाता है. ओके, हम बॉल को ऊपर फेंकते हैं तो वो नीचे आता है. हम लोग जंप करते हैं तो भी हम लोग नीचे आ जाते हैं. हम ऊपर फ्लाई नहीं करते हैं ना, हम लोग वापस नीचे आ जाता है. So to explain gravity, Kavya Didi is going to show you 2 videos now. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 videos now. Let's see both of the videos.
Hey friends, have you ever wondered what keeps us floating off into space? Why am I going down after every jump?
So this guy is also asking, every time I jump, मैं वापस नीचे क्यों आता हूँ? मैं ऊपर क्यों नहीं जाता हूँ?
Well, this is called gravity, an invisible force that pulls you back to the earth.
वो बोल रहा है मैं नीचे आता हूँ क्योंकि ग्रेविटी एक फोर्स है वो जो मेरे को नीचे खींचता है. It pulls me down.
So Isaac Newton, a well-known scientist, discovered gravity about 300 years ago. The story is that Newton saw an apple fall from a tree towards the ground. At first he thought, why didn't the apple go up? Then he realized that there was a force that made it fall on the ground, and he called it gravity.
So, gravity किसने discover किया था? There was a scientist called Isaac Newton. Okay, there was a scientist called Isaac Newton. वो एक दिन book पढ़ रहे थे एक tree के नीचे बैठ के, and वो apple tree था. वो apple tree से एक apple नीचे गिर गया था. And वो सोच रहा था ये apple नीचे क्यों गिरा? ऊपर fly क्यों नहीं हुआ? फिर उसको लगा ओके कुछ तो समथिंग इज पुलिंग इट डाउन. मेरे को दिखता नहीं है जो उसको पुल कर रहा है, बट इट्स अ फोर्स व्हिच इज पुलिंग इट डाउन, एंड दैट फोर्स व्हिच इज पुलिंग द एप्पल डाउन इज कॉल्ड द ग्रेविटी. दिस गाय इज कॉल्ड सर आइजैक न्यूटन. ओके.
You'll be surprised to know that every object that has mass exerts a gravitational pull or force on every other body of mass. The size of the pull depends on the mass of the objects. This is how the sun's gravitational pull keeps planets orbiting around it.
So, हर चीज के पास ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स होता है. सन के पास ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स है, अर्थ के पास ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स है. So, the solar system is formed because वो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एक्ट करता है. The sun क्या करता है? सबको अपने पास थोड़ा 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 खींचता रहता है. इसलिए the gravitational force works and all the planets keep orbiting around the sun or revolving around the sun because of the gravity. इसलिए सारे planets fly नहीं करते हैं. सारे planets एक जगह fly नहीं करते हैं. एक ही जगह पे they all revolve around the sun.
Even the earth has a gravitational force on the moon. That is why the moon rotates around the earth and does not float away. That's amazing, isn't it? An invisible force has so much to do with the way we live.
Okay, so this was gravity. Okay, we're going to watch another small video where this Didi is explaining what gravity is.
If I told you that you just won the lottery, what would you do? If you're like me, you jump up and down and scream. And after you are done freaking out and jumping in the air, you land on your feet, right? But why would you land back on the ground instead of just floating off into space?
So this Didi is also asking you, when I jump up, when Kavya Didi jumps up or when you jump up, हम सब लोग fly क्यों नहीं करते हैं? हम लोग वापस क्यों अर्थ पे आ जाते हैं?
It's because of a little something we call gravity. Gravity is what pulls everything toward the ground, including you. Without the force of gravity, there would be no life on Earth. Air, water, animals, everything would fly off into space.
So if you see here, Kavya Didi is going to show you a small
There'd
video.
be no you,
Okay,
no me, no French fries.
So Kavya Didi is going to show a small thing. Say, okay, this is the Earth. Okay, ये Earth है. हम सब लोग इधर है. Okay, Earth के ऊपर है ना, हम लोग सब लोग इधर है. Okay, हम लोग क्यों fly नहीं करते हैं Earth से? हम लोग, why don't we fly away from the Earth? Why are we always on the Earth? Okay, when we jump also, when we jump, we don't fly away, right? We still come back to the Earth. Jump करके वापस we come back to the Earth. That's because the Earth keeps pulling us. The Earth keeps pulling us नीचे से with a force called gravity. और suppose if gravity नहीं होता तो क्या होता? हम सब लोग fly कर रहे होते हैं. We all could be flying if there was no gravity. Okay, let's finish the video.
Fries, nada. Think of gravity like the invisible superglue that holds our massive world together. You can't see it, but it's always there. An English scientist named Isaac Newton was the first person to seriously study gravity over 300 years ago. There's a famous story about him that you might have heard. Supposedly, Sir Isaac was hanging out underneath an apple tree thinking, probably partly napping, when an apple fell from the tree and conked him on the head. That's when Sir Isaac had an aha moment. Why did the apple fall down to the ground and not up or sideways? He realized that a special kind of force, which we now know as gravity, was acting on all of the objects on Earth.
So she's saying the same thing. There was a scientist called Isaac Newton and he was sitting under a tree and an apple fell down from a tree and he was realizing ये apple ऊपर क्यों नहीं गया, ये apple नीचे क्यों आ गया करके. Then he realized, okay, something is pulling it towards the earth. Earth के पास वो कुछ तो चीज है जो apple को pull कर रहा है. वो हमें दिखता नहीं है, but it's a force that's there, and that's called gravity.
Pulling them toward it. Once the apple became too heavy for its stem to hold it anymore, the gravitational pull of Earth brought the apple down onto Newton's noggin. Newton also realized it doesn't matter how heavy an object is either, whether you're holding an apple or a bowling ball or a feather. If you let go of it, that sucker's going down. We're gonna make a whole video about this later. Basically, he determined that what goes up must come down.
So he said that जो भी ऊपर जाता है Earth में, वो नीचे आ जाता है. Whether you throw a ball, whether you throw a feather, whether you throw a paper, whether you throw anything, वो नीचे आ जाएगा because of Earth's gravity.
Down.
Okay. So this is the video about gravity. Let's go back to our lesson. Okay, we saw two videos. We saw two videos to understand gravity. अभी gravity में हमने क्या सीखा? What did we learn? We learned about Sir Isaac Newton. We learned about Sir Isaac Newton, who was a scientist. Scientist मतलब जो ये करते हैं, science के ऊपर पढ़ाई करते हैं, and they discover new things, they invent new things. Who discovered gravity? When an apple fell on his head, okay, an apple fell on his head and he realized, okay, kuch to pull kar raha hai, and that cheese is called gravity. So what is gravity? Gravity is a force of attraction. Gravity is a force of attraction that pulls things together. It pulls things towards each other. The sun extends gravitational force on all the planets. Sun के पास जो gravitational force है, वो सारे planets को pull करता है. And all the planets extend a gravitational force on their satellites. And सारे planets जो है वो gravity किसको दिखाते हैं? Sun को दिखाते हैं, and also their satellites like moon. इसलिए all the planets keep revolving around the sun and they do not fly away. Okay, and also it is because of gravity that हम सब लोग, including us, the dogs and anything that goes up, it always comes down. हम सब लोग fly नहीं करते हैं, हम सब लोग ज़मीन पे ही रहते हैं क्योंकि because of this gravitational force. Okay, so that's all today's lesson. Today's lesson we saw space, which is the empty black space, And we also saw gravity, which is the force that keeps pulling things towards the ground. Next week, Kavya Didi is a very, very interesting lesson, which I'm very excited about. We're going to see about rockets, we're going to see about astronauts, and we're going to see about space stations. Rockets, astronauts, and space stations, but that's next week. Okay. I'm going to end the video, but before I end the video, I'm going to tell you आज का homework क्या है. Okay, आज का homework काव्या दीदी ने 5 questions दिया है. First 4 questions है. These are the first 4 questions. And then 5th question एक activity. I'll quickly explain what are the questions and the activity in the next voice note or video that I'll send. I'll explain आप लोगों को क्या करना है आज के homework के लिए. Okay, if you have any doubts, please message Kavya Didi. Okay, bye.